All right, we're back again. It's time for that end of day PulseWave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave Price Trigger reports. If you missed today's live that we did on Discord, I don't know what to tell you. It was epic. We went a bit longer than we thought we would, but we had some really intense conversation there. A lot of good questions from the community, and we went in. We go all the way in. That's why we do it on Discord because social media won't allow us to talk our minds, speak our minds. So we do it there. So we're going to try to do these at least once a week and keep them moving. They're not recorded, so it's like you have to be there, kind of thing. All right, so real quick, the markets were a little interesting today. Take a look here at your gold futures, and we had a continuation today. A little bit more upside production in the gold futures. So we are in that green zone. The market has turned bullish. It's positive, the trend line. It's positive, the Kumo cloud. What more could you ask for, right? Looks like the market wants to test the 1800 level again, which has kind of been kryptonite as of late. 1800 seems to be a problem area for gold. Not sure if it can make it over the hump this time. We will just have to see. What about GLD? GLD continuation as well, but not as much upside. That I would have expected more in the GLD. I would have expected more. Technically speaking, it's barely out of the Kumo cloud. It has not established itself just yet. The gold futures are a little bit more pronounced. So we'll see how this moves. But you are in the green zone. Market has some bullishness in it, obviously. You got upside production, continuation. We'll have to see if it can hold on from here or what's going to happen next, right? Here's your GDXJ. Looking at your gold miners. Gold miners couldn't even get out of the Kumo cloud. All right, so the $44 to $45 handle right now is proven to be a bit difficult for the miners. Not sure if they can get enough energy behind this push to get the market to where it needs to be, but you never know. With the type of upsurge we had in the equity markets, which we'll get into later, I don't know if it can piggyback off of some of that. It will be very interesting to see if the miners can do it, but you do have a lot of overhead resistance, and it doesn't look to be out of the woods quite yet. So we'll see what happens. Taking a look now at silver. All right, here's the silver futures. So silver futures, got above that trend line resistance today. Okay, so that's nice, but you still got the overhead resistance, the bottom of the Kumo cloud that you got to contend with. $24 seems to be the kryptonite right now in silver. Having a hard time with that $24 level, sustaining that type of momentum. So we'll see if the market can continue to do just that. But for right now, you got continued upside production. What more could you ask for, right? You are in the green zone as well. So silver is looking like it wants to continue this push. Going to need to see a few more days like today, though. The breadth of this bar is good. That's a good sign. You want to see that. And the way the market closed, it closed in strength, which is also a positive. So we'll see if silver can keep this going. The question is, what does SLV look like? All right, as you know, SLV is the ETF that tracks the silver futures. Well, this is what your SLV looks like. So it managed to pop above the overhead trend line resistance, which is a good thing. Still got to contend with that $22 level, which seems to be problematic for silver. $22 seems to be a problem. You got the overhead trend line, which it's managed to conquer. Needs to see a few more good closes with some good breadth in these bars. Bottom of the Kumo cloud is next around the 22.5 mark. Like I said, $22 seems to be silver's kryptonite. in this SLV. We'll see what happens here. We will definitely see what happens. All right, moving on. Now, take a look at what energy has been doing. Now, you know you had that big run up, you had the big pop, and now the market's trying to come back up and test and take out this bullish pointer, which also marks the current high. So as you can see, we're getting continued upside production. But remember what I said about these bearish pointers and any kind of a pullback. You have to expect that nothing just goes straight up in a straight line. That's not normal. There's ebb and flow on your way, but you are in a very strong, established bull scenario for now. We'll see if it can continue. But what say you as far as the ETFs? Well, here is OIH. OIH is a little bit closer to testing and taking out this bullish pointer. Technically speaking, you could call today a successful test. Didn't take it out. It was a good test, good bar here. We'll see if it can continue. You know, gaps that you create have to be dealt with, things of that such. But I think this is a good note. This is a good move for now. I think you have something established, something going on here in the energy space at this point in time. I think we're doing all right. But the good, interesting thing that people are talking about today, of course, is what happened in the equity market. That's what they're talking about. Well, here is the Russell. The ticker is IWM. This is an ETF. Before I even blow the chart up, you can see this sideways action. You can make an argument that technically speaking, we're still trading at the level we were in February. All this up and down has led to going nowhere. We're just back here in February. This you can't deny. When I blow the chart up, this is what happened. IWM gapped up today. Therefore, you know there has to be a back and fill somewhere sooner rather than later. And you're still, therefore, in the correction zone. You haven't gotten out of it yet. And you got a back and fill here. All you're doing is just going up, down, up, down, up, down, moving sideways, not doing a whole lot. Not doing a whole lot. Okay? You got to take what the market gives you. You know, pick it when you can get it. And as you can see, the last buy signal was here. You got this upside production, but it's been real shaky. All right, real shaky. You may want to think about locking in some profits if you were long since the last signal. All right, you just got to. You don't have a choice. This is not buy and hold. These markets are not those markets. This is not your great-great-granddaddy's market. Here's what's happening in the real estate. So real estate got a benefit today from what the equity market was doing. This is the ticker IYR, getting closer to the top of this Kumo cloud, you know, testing both the support and resistance areas of the consolidation range, and it's trying to recover. So right now I'm just about I'll give you a 50% retracement so far from this fall, from this drop. So if you got long at the rally alert buy signal, you're doing good. You want to lock in some profit though. You don't want to give up any gains, and you know you got a back and fill on the gap up as well. Can't avoid that. Taking a look now at the Nasdaq 100, the ticker is QQQ. All right, you see this nice gap up here as well, and you are in the Kumo cloud. The Kumo cloud is also arcing, and it's kind of wide. You start here around the 360 level, and you get up here to almost, we'll call it 373. So that's a $13 handle. All right, and that's quite the range in this QQQ, which means that you're doing all of this, and you aren't really going anywhere right now. Technically speaking, even though the market popped here, it still came back and dropped. Now you're right back to where you were in August. All right, so a lot of up and down, but technically speaking, the price is the same as it was in August. You haven't gone anywhere since August. So you can say, oh, this is So the Nasdaq we're talking about here, yeah, but I'm thinking that some weakness is going to come back in. You're still in the red zone in this Nasdaq. You're still in the red zone. Still in the red zone. You can't get around that. You can't ignore that. It is what it is. Until it's not. All right. So looking at natural gas. Let's take a look at natural gas. All right. So your natural gas has an official crash alert sell signal for tomorrow's trading. And the futures that runs from for tonight into tomorrow's trading. For UNG, it kicks in for tomorrow's trading. Trend line support down here around the $5 mark is what we're looking to happen here. Always, also sideways patterns. Markets locked in from September the 28th and relocked in, confirmed on October the 6th. This is the range that price action is kind of staying in right now. Taking a look at the UNG ticker, which is the Nat Gas ETF, looks totally different, right? You just saw the natural gas futures looking bearish and the UNG finishing today on a bullish note. Equities are a bit better priced than the futures, but the futures predicts where the equities are going. But the equities usually are priced better along the way as far as leveling out support and resistance zones. You're still in a corrective zone on this UNG, and you're about ready to tap out. If it can make it to about 21, I think this will tap out and come back down here and test the support at 17. So we'll just have to see. All right, let's move on. Okay, let's see what we got. You want to look at ADA, Cardano. All right, let me see what I got for you. Give me a second. You want the ADA Cardano. All right, what we got? Let me pull it up here. See if I can hook you up with that. All right, give me just a second. All right. ADA Cardano. What do we have here? See if I got the updated stuff for you. Yes, I do. Okay. Here's ADA Cardano. So ADA Cardano right now is still stuck in the Kumo cloud, and it's a pretty wide cloud, stretching from around the $2 mark up to about 250. And you're just kind of zigzagging up and down in there. No real trend. You still are in the red zone. You were under deep corrective positioning. Now you've gotten off out of that. And now the market is trying to build a base to rally from. But because you're in the Kumo cloud, what I'm seeing is just some more sideways pattern movement. But I think the market is ready to test the higher end of this range. So you're going to be stuck in this pattern for a minute. Your consolidation bar is located at September the 7th. And that's, as you can see, price action is staying in the bar of September the 7th. And I think that's going to be a wash, rinse, repeat. I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. All right, you want to see Ethereum. All right, let's see here. Ethereum. Okay, here we go. All right, so here is your Ethereum. And as you can see, you had a rally alert buy signal coming into today. So anyone who took the rally alert buy signal on the PulseWave reports on your dashboard, you're setting pretty right now. But as always, you're going to want to try to lock in some profits. All right. Don't turn a winning trade into a losing trade. You still are range bound overall. You're respecting the range bar from September the 7th. What you see happening right now is the market is just testing the higher end of the range. It was down, stuck at the bottom of the range for the longest time. Now it's getting back up here to test the higher end of this range. Can it continue to run and break out from here? Yes, it could. You just want to be smart, follow the rules, and I think you'll be just fine. All right, you want to see XLM. Let's see what we got here for you. XLM. I think I may have that up. Let's see. All right, XLM. I'm showing XL Media. Is that what you want? I got XL Media and I got 21 shares Stellar ETP. Not sure which one you want. If XLM is a crypto, I don't have that. That's not in our system yet. But if it's XL Media or 21 shares Stellar, I got that. So let me know. All right, so moving on. Where was I? Oh, let's take a look at bonds real quick. All right, so as you know, bonds have fallen in price and have been trying to regain some of that lost ground, getting closer to the overhead trend line resistance. The problem, though, is that you created a gap here and you created a gap here. I think the market's going to bump its head up here at the trend line resistance, and you do have an air pocket between here and the bottom of the Kumo cloud, which is probably going to serve as a very strong resistance point, thus pushing price back down to fill these two gaps, which means that yields won't have a choice but to rise further. All right, moving up. All right, so that's what that is. All right, taking a look now at, you want to see Theta? Okay, I got you. Hold on one second. All right. Theta. Okay, here we go. All right, so Theta has been moving sideways too. A lot of flip-floppage. Ignore any gaps you see on this chart unless otherwise noted, because they are not real gaps, okay? Yeah, flip-floppage here. You're very sideways right now. What you see happening is they're respecting the range established on September the 7th. Price action has stayed in there. You had a brief time when you were down here, but then the market snapped right back into the bottom of this range. If anything, the market may start stretching down and put a new leg down. So you'll get out of here and then go down here. That's what it's looking like. It's looking very bearish at this point in time. And you do now, you've been flip-flopping all over the place. This crash alert didn't get any downside production. This one did. And then this buy signal didn't get any upside production. But now you flip-flop to a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. The market's kind of like dangling here like it's ready to fall over a cliff. So be very careful trading this, even though on the algo chart it's showing the green zone, but price action is below the Kumo cloud and below the trend line. So just definitely follow the report, use the rules, and I think you'll be just fine on that one. All right, I think we are about done. Oh, one more chart. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Here's the ticker SPY. It gapped up too, and it's also in a very wide Kumo cloud, extending from 435 all the way up toward the 450 handle. That's a pretty wide Kumo cloud. You're just sideways. It just looks like the markets are doing big things, but they really aren't. All right, last but not least, we'll end with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had that crash alert sell signal, flip-flop to a rally alert buy signal, got that upside production, then the market pulled back. So we'll see what it wants to do from here. It does have all the potential because it's in the green zone. It can rally. It can really run from here. But these magnetic forces of these established sideways bars from September the 7th seems to be pretty powerful. I'm still holding to the 50 to 55,000 range being a range of resistance that will attract price and push it down once it falls within the range. So just something to think about moving ahead. Trade what you see, use the system, but be smart. All right, and then here is the GBTC, the ETF that tracks that. And as you can see here, got that little upside production, and then you've been kind of you were kind of flat on this one. All right, but the same principles apply. All right. With that being said, you know what to do, man. Smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, go to pulsewavetrading.com where you can participate and get these reports delivered to you on a daily basis and know exactly what and where to get in and out of these markets. We show you specific entry points, where to get in, where to buy, where to sell, where to put your stops. We teach you our methodology of the POP method, how to manage open positions, and all that good stuff. A lot of goodies are there. And of course, we also have the trading room that stays open 24/7 with traders from around the world. With that being said, you know what it is, man. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Coinbase stock. I think there is. I know I could have sworn I added it, but it may be too new, so maybe it didn't update yet. Let me just check. I know one of these places have one went public. I think Coinbase is the one that went public, right? Let me see. Okay, Coinbase. Yeah, it's on the Nasdaq. The ticker is Coin, COIN. It's on the Nasdaq, and I think I did add this. Let me just double check. Because if not, then I'll do it right now. And then once it gets enough data for the system to do its compilations, then it will be added. Yeah, so I just added it. Hopefully, it has enough data for the system for it to run through the system. If it does, then you will see it appear on the next equity report. All right. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.